welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If this is your first time on the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. So this is a review for Buccaneer Bunny, released on the 8th of May 1948. It's the 523rd in the series, and it's directed by Freleng. I can't show you the full cartoon here due to copyright. You can see it on the Looney Tunes Golden Collection Volume 5 and Platinum Collection Volume 1, and I'll have a link below to purchase if you don't have them. And again, because I can't show you the full cartoon, I'll just give you a brief synopsis in case you're one of the few that haven't seen this masterpiece. But essentially, Buccaneer Sam is burying treasure and encounters bugs in his home. So of course, the rest of the short is just bugs messing around with Sam on his ship, and where he's the only crew member for some weird reason. And with me today to discuss this, as I said before, masterpiece, is my fellow pirate, Matt Hunter. Say hi.
Arr, matey.
I should say arr, matey. I should have said that instead, but maybe I should have just done the review like that and just say, directed by Freleng, yar, or something like that.
Yar.
Just end everything.
Or Isadar Freleng.
Isadar. There we are. So, just a few bits of trivia before we get into discussing this wonderful cartoon. So, in the beginning, you hear Sam doing the usual, yo ho ho.
Oh, and a bottle of muzzle fashion cider. Muzzle fashion cider.
Muzzle fashion cider. And that's a parody of a radio jingle that was titled, Dad's Old Fashioned Root Beer. So, there you go. The caricature that Bugs Bunny does is of Charles Lawton, and it's specifically of Charles Lawton off of the film Mutiny on the Bounty. And if you haven't seen that movie, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's really good. It really is. The door gag, it's reused from Little Red Riding Rabbit. And here's the thing, he may have reused the gag, but he's refined it here, and I find the timing to be a lot better. I mean, what do you think?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's comparable anyway. There's no lights to turn on and off, because in the Red Riding Rabbit, there's the added element of the light switch at one point. But it's still funny, and Friz Freleng had a habit of reusing gags, maybe more than the other directors did. But nearly every time he did, he would add some way to top it. He would plus it in some way. And these cartoons obviously were not meant to be seen back to back in marathon, so you weren't like, oh, he's just doing the same thing again. That it would have been the first time somebody saw it. The reuse doesn't bother me in that case, and I think this one
exactly
plus it.
And it shouldn't really bother anyone, because as you said, these were not meant to be, I guess, binge watch back then. I mean, but imagine trying to binge watch it back in the day. Getting all these film reels, put them together, and having to change a reel every time you want to see something. Yeah, that would have been a nightmare.
We definitely have the advantage over the people back then. Of course, maybe they had the advantage because they got to see them all on a big screen with an audience like they're meant to be seen. So, there's pluses and cons, I guess.
Exactly.
I would have liked to have been in a theater. My personal favorite gag from this cartoon is the rowboat gag, where Sam chases Bugs all the way to the ship, and then realizes he forgot the boat, and so he goes back and grabs the oars, and it's like this whole thing. And I remember watching that. I saw this cartoon a lot as a kid, and it always made me laugh for some reason. I'm like, Sam is such an idiot,
Absolutely love it. I was going to say, that's my favorite scene too. Absolutely amazing. It's so funny. Now, that last line that Bugs says,
I have not even begun to fight.
Now, according to Eric Goldberg, that's, I believe, from Revolutionary Officer John Paul Jones. I mean, I'm not as familiar with U.S. history, but is that the case?
I believe so. I believe that I have not even begun to fight is attributed to him, yes. So maybe you could say Bugs is American in this one. And it's kind of interesting if you look at that door gag. Paul Julian had a habit of making really detailed backgrounds, and at one point there's an inscription, like the name of the ship, Maria Deuce or something like that. So I think it's like a French ship. So maybe either Sam is a French pirate or he stole the ship from one. Just a little trivia there.
And somehow did it all on his own, because he's apparently the only crew member. I mean, you and I know the reason is, of course, animation budget. I mean, why animate a crew, to be used? But it just makes it a little bit more funnier, I think. It's so, and And I like some of the touches in this short too, like when Bugs walks away, just after Sam is apparently going to shoot himself. I like how he just peels the carrot, like he's
Like a
got a
banana.
banana. I just like little touches like that.
Yeah, and this is
Absolutely.
one too where Bugs is not really in this case threatened necessarily. Like Sam doesn't really do anything horrible to him in the beginning. He's just having fun with him. He knows he's no threat to him. He knows that he's just playing pranks is all he's really doing. And it's just Sam is so stubborn and so persistent. He has to have the last word. And Bugs knows that, and so he just keeps messing with him. Another great scene is toward the ending, the brig scene with the match and the gunpowder,
Yes.
where Bugs keeps lighting the matches and throwing them down there, and Sam keeps going and getting them, and he's like, "You does that just once more? I ain't a-going in after it." And so Bugs is like, "Okay, fine,"
It's like, yeah, whatever.
Blast your ornery hide! If you does that just once more, I ain't a-going after it.
I mean,
Yeah.
because speaking of backgrounds, I like, the ship explodes, but if you look at the background towards the end, you can see the ship in the background, but sort of half sunk. I like that little attention to
Right,
detail.
yeah. Another brilliant move by Paul Julian, who did the backgrounds of this one and so many more Friz cartoons in the late 40s, early 50s. I just love his work. He later moved on to UPA, where his ultra-realistic painting style was really well juxtaposed with their stylized animation, so it was really kind of a unique blend. He did a version of Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart. It's
Yep.
really, with Halloween coming up, that's one you ought to watch. I mean, it's really well done. And
It's
you
one of my
can tell
favorite shorts
Paul
of all
Julian-
time.
Yeah, and Paul Julian's touch, he's credited as the director, and it's all over it, and it's really good.
Yeah,
He did
exactly.
that, I think, not long after he left Warner Brothers, actually.
And also, I love the logic in this cartoon, the wonderful cartoon logic where, okay, Bugs is holding the anvil, which comes from nowhere. Of course it does, right? And he drops it to Sam, but the whole ship sinks when he has it. Like, it's
Oh,
just a stupid little gag that makes me laugh. But can we also appreciate just how brilliant Mel Blanc is? Because you've got Mel Blanc, he's doing a voice, who's doing a voice.
Mr. Christian, look at you, disgrace to the Navy. This is mutiny, Mr. Christian. Mutiny, that is.
Yeah.
It's just
so
incredible.
he actually does 3. He does well, technically 4 voices in this cartoon, even though there are only 2 characters. Because you've got him doing Bugs Bunny, then you've got him doing Bugs Bunny as Charles Lawton, then you got him doing Yosemite Sam, and then you got him doing Yosemite Sam's parrot, who appears in one scene just out of nowhere.
He's in here. He's in here.
And Bugs, of course, blows him up with a firecracker. But Polly want a cracker.
Polly want a cracker? Polly want a cracker. Polly want a cracker. Polly want a cracker. Here you are, sweetheart.
And of course,
Exactly.
Bugs gives him a cracker, a firecracker, and then blows him up, and it's like, me and my big mouth.
Yeah, maybe I should do the review like that. Directed by Friz Freleng. Or something like that. I don't know. But just to wind this one up down slowly, I mean, what would you rate this one out of 10? I mean, I personally give this one a solid 8.5. I love this one. It's a classic.
I mean, this one's a 10. There's no question. I mean, this is one of the all-time best Bugs Bunny cartoons, and Yosemite Sam as well. So I think so. And it's also, I think, primarily the reason that Yosemite Sam is best remembered as a pirate alongside being a cowboy. Even though he was in all kinds of miscast roles deliberately, it's either a cowboy or a pirate. Most people remember him, and that's the way he was marketed. So, yeah.
What? Not the UFO.
No, not Yosemite Sam of outer space. Although they did that.
Yeah, they sure did, and I think that one is forgotten for a reason. But we'll definitely get to that one at some point. So, in any case, that'll do it for this one. So thank you all so much for watching this review. Feedback's always welcome. And until next time, take care.
All but you're cornered. Come out and meet your doom.
I have not even begun to fight.